Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Labor Day weekend. Hope y'all are having a good one with the friends and family so far. My name is Dynamite, and I like to talk about my favorite stock, GameStop, duh. And I just like to talk about everything that surrounds it. And I do believe that we're primed for a liftoff. Not financial advice, of course, not a financial advisor, but I do think that things are about to get a little spicy for the next couple weeks. And keep in mind that September the 10th, 2024, we do have quarter two earnings coming out for GameStop after the market closes. Nothing but excited about that. And I just want to talk to y'all and let y'all know why I feel personally that we're ready to lift off, whether it's technicals, fundamentals, everything that surrounds the sentiment of GameStop overall. I'm here to go over it for y'all right now, so I hope y'all get the popcorn ready. And I'm not talking about Adam Zarin's nasty ass AMC popcorn. I'm talking about your popcorn that you bought from the grocery store. Let's go. So the chart right here, as you can tell, this is the 4-hour chart for GameStop. As you see, I do got my wedge right here that is slowly trending on the upside. It's been flat for the past couple of weeks, pretty much since that breakout in March or in May, and then we broke out in June again, and then we've just been flat ever since on a slow downward trend. But time is coming, and this past Friday, this past week has been one for the books. As you could tell, we did slowly elevate in price action after we bounced off of this upward trending line that I have drawn for GameStop. And I do feel like we're going to break out of this wedge. Maybe we might go down for next week, in my opinion, of course. That's okay with me because that's just another buying opportunity for us, before we lift off into space. And I am looking forward to that. So fundamentals tell us plenty of things, whether it's the $4 billion in cash equivalents, whether it's the insiders buying in, whether it's Roaring Kitty having 9 million shares, I believe at an average of $23.50, something like that. But let's go over the technicals first. So as you can tell, the MACD, we're pretty much right here in the middle portion. We are going to pretty much cross over at some point in the future. Comparing it to the MACD before the run-up in May, it's looking real good so far, looking pretty similar in a way. And if we look at the RSI, it's at 60.10. So this is all for the 4-hour chart, by the way. I'm going to zoom out in a minute. And the volume for Friday, of course, for the last 4 hours, we had 7.8 million in volume, whether it's trading back and forth, sell/buys. And then the OBV, of course, is above ground, definitely above what it was before that run-up in May. So that's already a good sign. Loving the technicals so far. Now let's look at it from a broader perspective. So this is the weekly chart for GME. And as you can tell, the volume has been very low. And you know what usually happens when the volume is low? There's usually a run-up that runs up after that. Well, at least for the sneeze back in 2021. Same thing is happening over here. Of course, not financial advice and not a technical trader, really. I just simply like to invest and buy the stock and hold for a long period of time. I plan on holding for a long period of time. The MACD crossover, which is right over here on the weekly chart, look like it's going to brew up, possibly go towards the upside, but it's really hard to say. Like I said, not a technical guy. RSI, so compare the RSI right here versus where it was back in 2020. So it's around this range, and I do believe that we could still see ourselves going up as far as the price action goes. The RSI looks really well. It's in the middle at 56.53. And the volume, so as you can tell, we've had a flat volume, red volume for the most part, and then we had that uptick in volume for the whole day. It was 40.2 million trades, shares, if you will, when it comes to volume, trading back and forth shares. And let's look at the on-balance volume really quick for GameStop. So as you can tell, before we went up in 2021 for the sneeze, we had a very low OBV, but now we're at an all-time high when it comes to the OBV. Looks like we could always go higher than that, and we're actually higher at the OBV than what we were whenever we ran up this past year back in May and June. So it's looking real good as far as the technical analysis goes. It only makes sense because we're only on the upward trend when it comes to the OBV. Of course, technicals don't really mean everything. It's just an indicator of what you can try to anticipate that's going to happen in the future. But the OBV basically measures the buying and the selling pressure as a cumulative indicator that adds volume up on days and subtracts volume on down days. So I do feel good about all the indicators so far. Now, whether it's that or the pretty much the fundamentals, like the termination of the credit agreement for GameStop, anything is really possible when it comes to that. Because first off, we're not associated with any of the banks anymore. JP Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, they don't have to basically know what we're doing because we could do what we want to now. And considering the fact that we have $4.1 billion in cash, I do believe that we could generate liquidity alone with the cash equivalents and just let that grow over time. So I feel really good about the position we're in. We have a very conservative management group when it comes to basically the financials, the board of directors. They're doing anything they can to really just save up and grow the money over time and basically grow it and invest it in other things. Now, I'm not too sure what exactly they will be investing in the future, but regardless of the fact, I feel good about this rocket going up. RC takes a $0 salary when it comes to being the CEO, and he buys his own shares. So it's really not heard of for many companies. And considering the fact that insiders buy into their own shares, that just means that they believe the price of the stock will go up. And let's talk about the options data real quick. So this is for basically this past week for Friday. So we had 48,166 calls in the money versus this measly 1,200 puts in the money. For next week, so far with the price action that it closed off at, we have 21,200 calls in the money versus 888 puts in the money. So pretty much for the next couple weeks, we do have it. It's really looking nice as far as the in the money calls go. Now anything could happen. Those in the money calls can increase over time due to the fact that lots of people got out of the money calls. But yeah, I feel good about this. IV is low for GameStop. It has been for a while, considering the fact that we've been trading flat for the past couple weeks, couple months. So I'm very bullish about this rocket that's about to blast off, whether it's next week or maybe the week after or next month in October. Happy September, by the way. Anything is possible. And even Sam says so because he bought some shares the other day, as you could tell. And, I'm just flat out super excited when it comes to GameStop as a whole, GameStop as a company, GameStop, the investors, everything that surrounds GameStop. And the macros are looking crazy because Nvidia is going to crash, and it's oversold like a what, and GameStop is undervalued like a who, and people are just going to keep on throwing it under the rug, acting like it ain't worth anything. But GameStop is one of the most valuable investments that you can make right now, and that's just my personal opinion. I could be totally wrong, but don't take advice from a guy who's always wearing GameStop shirts every single day of the week when he goes on the stream or goes on to make a video. But that's the video for today. I just wanted to give y'all my reasons as to why the rocket is going to lift off soon. And don't let the naysayers sway you away from the fact of that. I'm sorry, that's not a fact. It's my opinion. But I just feel real good about the GameStop price as of lately, especially with the price action after this past Friday. I think we're loaded up and ready to go. I'm going to buy some shares first thing on Tuesday. Happy Labor Day tomorrow. Hope y'all have a good one, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.